Today. Did you get your Mario Kart update yet? No, not that one. The other one. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint. Is your name on the list?
That's marginally threatening.
Sir, if your name isn't on the list, I won't be able to seat your party.
Oh, here, this is all the cash I have on me. Seat us someplace quiet?
Certainly, sir. It's that way to the walk-in freezer. Hey, kid. Want to hear about a couple of lawsuits? Great. First, a class action lawsuit from Quebec. The plaintiffs originally tried filing this suit against Epic Games and Epic Games Canada in 2019, but it's taken this long to get approved to finally go ahead, so at least one judge thinks it's not frivolous. The suit alleges that not only is Fortnite addictive, and that Epic failed to warn players about its addictive nature, but also that the company even worked purposefully and intentionally to make it that addictive. The suit comes from two parents with children aged 10 and 15 at time of the original filing. And if you read the actual documents, you can probably speak French, but I had to use a translator to find out that apparently the 10-year-old spent $600 on V-Bucks? Even if Fortnite was made addictive on purpose, I don't see how it's Epic's fault that your 10-year-old spent $600 on it. Also, the suit alleges that Epic had a psychologist lead an internal team to make the game as highly addictive as possible, supplying as evidence a 2018 article from French publication Le Monde entitled, by a translator, Célia Hodent, the French psychologist behind the success of the video game Fortnite. And that fascinating article talks extensively about how her job was user experience, like making sure icons make sense for their purpose, or reporting the dissonance players encountered when their axe, a melee weapon for fighting zombies, couldn't also be used to cut down trees. Oh, did I say zombies? Yes, because Célia Hodent worked on Fortnite in 2013, years before Fortnite Battle Royale was even a concept. On the one hand, every game company wants you to play their game, especially a live service like Fortnite. But on the other hand, it's going to be very hard to prove that Epic set out to purposefully make digital crack. Speaking of cracks, some are starting to show in Microsoft's attempt to buy Activision Blizzard, as the Federal Trade Commission has filed in their own court, which I guess is cool if you got your own court, to block the acquisition. Citing Microsoft's purchase of ZeniMax and its subsequent decision to make Starfield and Redfall exclusive to Microsoft consoles, Holly Vadova, director of the FTC's Bureau of Competition, says, quote, Microsoft has already shown that it can and will withhold content from its gaming rivals. With the FTC press release further explaining, quote, with control over Activision's blockbuster franchises, Microsoft would have both the means and motive to harm competition by manipulating Activision's pricing, degrading Activision's game quality or player experience on rival consoles and gaming services, changing the terms and timing of access to Activision's content, or withholding content from competitors entirely, resulting in harm to consumers. And the complaint itself further states not simply that Microsoft could do these things, but that the FTC believes that Microsoft's own past actions say they will do these things. Microsoft's Brad Smith says, nah. Well, actually, he says, quote, we continue to believe that this deal will expand competition and create more opportunities for gamers and game developers, without further explaining how. While Activision CEO Bobby Kotick went the more direct route by saying, quote, the allegation that this deal is anti-competitive doesn't align with the facts. Great point, Bobby. I forgot how much the FTC likes to just make things up. Luckily for him, he's got months to respond, so it'll be a while before we get to see how this all shakes out.
Time for another round of patch notes. And Graham, I promise this time I'll do it right, and you can finally, safely hand the whole thing over to me. The big news this week is Mario Kart is getting some updates. Not Mario Kart 8, though. Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS. It was last updated May 15th, 2012. Ooh, man, 10 years. They are going to have to play some serious catch-up. Let's take a look at the notes. Several issues have been addressed to improve the gameplay experience.
Fuck! Why me?
Why every time? Paul, we are no longer in patch notes. I'm using a semicolon, and we're now just doing a regular-ass story. Okay, there's a good reason they folded 10 years of bug fixing and patches and whatever else into this statement. The most likely reason was put forward by a data miner name of Oatmeal Dome. They postulate this patch might fix a severe security exploit. Recall the Splatoon 2, Animal Crossing, etc. update a while back. Following up with, there is even a possibility that this patch fixes the same security bugs as the other games, since Mario Kart 7 is a first-party Nintendo game and could use a lot of the same common netcode that was found to be vulnerable. So it might be a possible vector for hacking the 3DS, something we can already do, but I guess it makes sense to close as many barn doors as possible. In other news, diminishingly popular CheckPoint anchor Brendan Deary, seen here as Beej, has been relieved of handling future patch notes duties. And frankly, Graham, you live editing the prompter isn't exactly how I wanted to find out. Suck it up, Mushroom Boy.
Thinking about getting a Steam Deck? Well, you might not have to. If you have a car that costs over $100,000, that is, because you can now play any game that runs on SteamOS in your Tesla. The newest Model S's and X's, at least. What are you, a Model 3 driving prole? Anyhow, that's over 6,000 games that you can mercifully only play while the car is parked. And that's not because of basic common sense at Tesla, though. It's because the American National Highway Traffic Safety Administration immediately launched a safety investigation into Tesla's questionable decision to enable passenger mode gaming last year. You can even use Bluetooth to play with a controller or a keyboard and mouse. How fun. What a good priority for the Tesla devs to be working on. Hey, unrelated question. Does anyone know if Wreckfest is compatible with SteamOS?
What it is, homies, if you're disappointed that the Smash Brothers tournament scene is a churning gyre of piss, dig this hot notion. Nintendo of Australia is holding its own Smash tourney, albeit deemed casual, because frankly, Aussies and Kiwis seem to be a lot more keyed in to having fun than the rest of the world. But like I said, it's a casual event, meaning it's open to all, and thus the prizes are a little less exciting than the $250,000 we've seen bandied about for more competitive fare. What's on offer for the winners? Well, for one thing, this mug. Now, that's a pretty good mug. Enameled, two-tone, a formed lip. It's all yours along with a t-shirt, a commemorative coin, and 1,000 gold points if you're one of the 10 people who win the tournament. Or you might be one of 20 people who just get picked randomly to win a mug on its own. The event is open to everyone living in Australia and Aotearoa, even those below the age of majority, as long as their guardians are chill with it. So there's no downside to just dusting off your copy of Smash Brothers and giving it a try. Now, what's weird is people seem to find the mug as a prize unusual or worth comment, which I don't understand. Mugs are good merch and are very useful portable holes. And frankly, I think people should just be happy that during this holiday season, they'll be able to get their hands on any Nintendo branded merchandise. Because over at the online Nintendo store, they are certainly not interested in letting me log in or add shit to my cart. I tried for an hour to just add a fucking Octorok plushie to my cart, only to be either logged out, redirected to the USA page, and then told I was on the wrong site for my country, logged out again, told stuff was added to my cart when I could clearly see it was still empty, logged out again, and again, and again, and just generally get jerked around until I got so furious, I left website feedback. Oh yeah, and then I used a story on a fun piece of Nintendo merch to vent my piss all over a much larger audience. Fix your fucking store, Nintendo. I want to buy a Link ornament.
Out of luck on that ornament, then.
Yeah, I guess I'll just have to go to the Hallmark store and pick it up.
Wait, you can just go to an actual store, like at the mall?
Yeah, but who does that, man?
Who indeed, man?
Coming up, Square's brand new remake of Crisis Core has added all sorts of things to the PSP Classic. There's all new VO, expanded cutscenes, and greatly improved graphics, complete with Getty Images watermarks. I really wasn't expecting them to add that last one.
The prize breakdown for that Smash tournament, by the way, on the Nintendo Australia website, is like, it's like $800 worth of stuff in the prize pool, because most of that value is in the Nintendo. Actually, not even in the Nintendo points. It's like $10 worth of Nintendo points and a T-shirt
10 people,
and a T-shirt that they say is $40 and a mug that they say is $30.
Yeah, and so it's like for the 10 people who are winning, it's like almost cresting 1,000. But then they're also like 20 people can win a mug and 1,000 and 500 points, and another 20 people are going to win a shirt and 500 points.
Yeah,
and I'm like, so they put up maybe a couple grand, maybe $3,000 or whatever, of what they're considering. I mean, shirts are not. They're $40 retail. They're not $40 to make. So let's be fair. And then mugs are the same way. It's right for them. It's like, it's $20 retail, but it's like you did not pay that for those mugs. I mean, maybe not, because based on what I know about making mugs, it's like you can make about 30 or 40 mugs.
See, this is my question, because those are Smash Brothers Australia, New Zealand, AZNZ or whatever, AUNZ or whatever it says on it. Specific mug. What are their minimums? Because this is only 40 mugs.
Yeah, so they only have to
30 mugs.
They only have to make 30 mugs, and they probably don't. They probably made like close to 50, and they're going to give some out to people internally, let's say, right? So even if you do that, it's like, sure.
You know what our minimum for making these was?
Oh, yeah.
You do, because we had them for years.
Yeah.
We had to make like 100 or something stupid.
We ended up making I think we ended up making about 1,000 of these. Because that was where the good cutoff was. I don't quite remember, and you guys bought all of them, so thank you very much.
Well, the ones that didn't get broken in transport.
There's that, yeah. But they're gonna get white boxed mugs. They're gonna go to a local manufacturer who basically has those mugs, and they're just gonna, because they're only one color as well, right? Yeah. So it's like they can probably do a low run of 30 or 40, and they're gonna pay like, maybe $10 to $15 a mug. I'm gonna assume about $10 Australian per mug because it's such low minimums, but that's fine because it's all promo. And it's weird to think that it's like Nintendo of Australia is having a Smash tournament that they were like, we're just going to schedule this thing and everybody in both countries can play. So potentially millions of people have access to play in this tournament, and the prize pool is very low. It didn't cost them that much, but they can organize it however they want. And I kind of love that about this, that it's like anybody can show up, and if you play and you lose, like you don't make it to the top 10, you still can maybe win a thing to take home. It's kind of a fun idea. So
I liked your point, because it's like we've done these Smash stories about the big tournaments, and so because that's still fresh in everyone's head that it's like, oh, that tournament was going to have like a $250,000 US prize pool.
Yeah.
This is not trying to compete or replace with that. This is a fun Smash event. They're like, come on down. It's open to everybody. Play some Smash Brothers. The winners get some merch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. Like, could Nintendo put on a bigger and more impressive tournament? Yes. Should they? Yeah. Also, yes, I think. But that's not what this is supposed to be.
And it's all online, right? Because it's like all you have to be is like, you have to be like living in Australia or New Zealand. You have to own a Switch and a copy of Smash Brothers, and you have to have a reliable internet connection. Those are the three things they say you're going to need. And I'm like, oh yeah. So sure, maybe some Australia hotshot's going to show up and he's going to like school everybody in the tournament and walk home with a shirt, a coin, a mug, and some points. And it's like, maybe they'll just do that because like, why not? But maybe they won't, or who knows? Like, I think it'd be really funny if actually somebody who's like really high placed in the scene shows up, wins the whole thing, and then comes to like an actual like competitive tourney with like wearing the shirt, sipping their mug, and being like,
that'd be great.
Here I am.
I was thinking the one thing to add would be a clean. It doesn't have to be your head.
Right.
A clean
thump.
Head hit desk noise for Heather.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's try this thump.
That's good. That's good thump.
Yeah, I like that.
Cool.
She's going to use this whole bit in the after show.
I hope so. Beach hit his head on the desk so many times today.
And then I thought about using the coaster.
Well, it's the end of the year. You want to hear the worst games breakdown?
Yeah, we should. We don't do awards.
No, we don't.
But if we did,
well, so there was a story because every year Metacritic does their 10 worst games. Now, there's a couple caveats here. This is the 10 worst reviewed by critics games on Metacritic,
and had to have gotten
to be reviewed on Metacritic,
Yeah.
you need to have at least 7 industry reviews.
Yes.
So there's tons of garbage that gets released on Steam all the time that nobody ever sees the reviews unless I dredge it up for watch and play.
Yes.
Right. So like these are games that actually like these are games of some note.
Yeah.
But that are also bad. I'd heard of 3 of these.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, number 10, with a Metacritic score of 52, the Nintendo Switch release of Blade Runner Enhanced Edition.
Which, as I understand from Nintendo Life's review, was just kind of like, this is a little dire.
It was a very bad remake of a game from 1997.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 9, Kamiwaza Way of the Thief for PS4, also with 52. Didn't know about that. For PC, with 51, The Waylanders. For Xbox, with 50, The Last Oricru. Oricru? Or O-I-O-R-I-C-R-U.
All one word.
I don't know what that is. For PS5, with... Oh, this was 59? It was 49.
I know, weird, right? Yeah.
Zorro, The Chronicles.
Like Zorro.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Lego Brawls with 46 on
Wow.
Metacritic. Yeah,
Oh.
that's got to be the worst reviewed Lego game ever.
Yeah.
Number 4, Zell. I think it's pronounced Zell.
It's XEL. Yeah, Zell.
It's all caps XEL for Nintendo Switch. That was with 43.
The lowest Nintendo Switch game, actually, on this whole thing. There
Was
were
this
3
one.
more games below this.
Yeah. Babylon's Fall. That one I'd heard of.
Okay.
With a score of 41. Crossfire X.
Nope.
With 38. Had no idea what that one.
Remake of the board game Crossfire.
Sure. And the worst reviewed Metacritic game of the year with a final score of 30, Postal 4, No Regrets.
No. Is it actually No Regrets?
Oh, yeah.
It is?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been No Regrets and they spelled it wrong, but
No,
who cares?
it's Postal, so
What did it score?
30.
So nothing scoring like a 0. And I was saying to Heather, I have my theory behind this, is that I'm like, why don't we see those games show up on Metacritic? Like why? And I'm like, I think it's because that if I was reviewing stuff, here's how I would approach it. If a game makes it to my desk at like Polygon, Ars Technica, whatever, I'm like 5 out of 10. Like immediately, I'm just like, I know you're gonna you made a game, and I know how hard it is to make a game.
Right.
So you get points for making and releasing a game and putting it on my desk essentially for me to play, or putting it in my inbox so that I can have a code to play. I'm like, you get 5 out of 10 right off the bat. And then as I play it, if it's like, oh, there's lots of stuff broken in this, or there's bugs or whatever, the score's going to go down, because it's like you gave me something. It's like homework, right? It's like you hand in your homework. It's like you're probably going to score 50% if enough of your homework is actually there. But if you demonstrate to me that your homework is broken all the way through, then I'm like, then you didn't do your homework. You kind of just handed in something that isn't that it's not finished. It's that it actually doesn't function.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, I'm like, I guess if I got all the way down to a 0, it doesn't become, I just write "see me after class" and I send it back, right? Because it's like, you're like, if you send me something that I get to this opening screen and I go to hit start and I press start and it crashes, and I try it on like 4 other computers and it crashes every time, and I'm like, oh shit, viruses, and there's like no viruses or anything, but I'm like, okay, this thing is just not launching. I wouldn't even review it. I wouldn't even give it a score. I'd just be like, there's nothing to review here. Have it back. I'm not going to even talk about it.
We're good.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. I'm set.
Your line is... I'm sorry. Shouldn't be fucking around.
All right, I'm set.
Back when I reviewed video games, I did a review of... We had them all at once. It was Dragon's Lair, Dragon's Lair 2, Space Ace, and Time Traveler.
Damn.
All got released for PlayStation. I'm using heavy air quotes here because they were DVD games. They've been ported to a DVD.
Holy
so
shit.
you pressed up, down, left, right, or enter on the DVD thing, right?
Alrighty.
And I reviewed them, and guess what? They're shit, right? And so I gave them very, very bad scores. And my editor was like, "Are you sure that your scores are this low?" And I was like, I'll take a look. I'll go again and think of them. The graphics, at least in the first 3, are great. The graphics in Time Traveler are stupid because the whole point of that was it was a hologram thing in the video arcade.
That was the impressive
But
part.
it's like, I'm reviewing these as a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
These are ass.
Yeah.
These are very bad. So yeah, those got, I think I upped the gameplay on. I upped something on like 1 or 2 of them.
Because like Dragon's Lair as like a Laserdisc game in the arcade, very
Sure.
cool idea.
Yeah.
But you also you see what it is, and it's like coming home. It's like sure, but if I put Dragon's Lair on as a DVD game up against for $20, maybe $30.
I can't remember.
Sure, let's say $30 for that, up against a $30 PlayStation game.
Yeah.
It'd be like there's no contest that even a $30 PlayStation game that might even new 30 or new 40 or whatever would have destroyed this damn thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, it was awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess it would. Sorry, PS2 because PS1 didn't play
Right,
DVDs.
You're right. I was like,
PS2. Compare this against the PS2 games.
oh my God.
Anyway, don't play the Dragon's Lair games. What are we taking away from this? Goodbye.
Don't go to the store and look for the mug because it's not there.
You can buy other stuff though.
Yeah, lots of other stuff to buy at the store. Appreciate it. Own Smash Tourney, albeit beamed. Almost said albeit beamed.
Albeit beamed, my guy.